All right, so we get started now. Welcome everyone. Very happy to be here today and host you in this first event of a series of collaboration between the Edtech ecosystem in Latin America and different Edtech ecosystems around the world. And we saw that this was very fitting to start with Israel, given the close relationship that we had over 10 years with Mindcet, and how Israel was always distinguished by being one of the top innovator ecosystems around the world, and certainly in education. So I welcome everyone. The format is going to be that we're going to have a short pitch by each one of the companies, and then we're going to have a little bit of discussion, and then we are going to open up a room for specific conversations at the end. You're going to have 10 minutes in case you want to follow up, get more information on any one of these startups. Then you're going to have a chance to go into the breaking room and actually have a deeper conversation. We have 10 startups from the Mindset cohort, and I would let Paz introduce Israel and Mindset. Thank you, Paz. I ask you to all mute your microphones, please.
Thanks, Fernando. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here with all of you and to have this event that connects the Israeli Edtech market with the Latin American one. Cecilia is here next to me and she will do the introduction.
Okay.
La niña de la pradera.
Much better. Okay, I hope now we can move on.
Okay.
Everyone, it's really exciting to be here. I'm very happy. My name is Cecilia Weissman. I'm the VP of Mindset. Next to me is Avi Warshavsky, he's the CEO. We want very, very briefly to say who we are and to welcome you all to this wonderful event. As Fernando said, we've been in partnership with Fernando for a very long time now. I think we both think it's extremely important to create a very strong EdTech network around the world. So we've been for many years working together. Very quickly, I'm going to explain who we are. Mindset is a spin-off of the leader in technology-based educational solutions in Israel. It's a company called Matach that currently provides 80% of all the educational solutions to the Israeli public system. Mindset was created because we all know that the digital learner has special needs. All this challenge was given to Mindset 8 years ago. You guys have to target the digital learner and think forward to see what they need. 2020 gave us this huge opportunity. The digital education is here, and thank God Mindset has been working for a long time to meet this need. The way we thought about meeting this need is actually bringing entrepreneurial culture to meet education. We truly believe that only startups can accelerate the transformation of education towards the digital age. And why us? Why Mindset? Why was this so natural to us? As you all know, the entrepreneurial culture is inside the Israelis' DNA, even much before the digital age.
We live in exciting times where everything is at the touch of our fingers, where everything constantly changes before our eyes, and the next big thing becomes a thing of the past before we know it. We live in an era where thinking outside of the box has become the new box, and words and ideas are transforming the world. But even in this fascinating, non-stop, ever-changing world, there's a unique place where people live by the phrase, necessity is the mother of invention, and where imagination leads to creation. A place where reinventing yourself is a part of the job. And while you're trying to make the world a better place, you can sometimes settle for finding the best way home. A place where curiosity about life makes us connect things, find our path, quench our thirst for wonder, make life simple, keep it safe, dream the impossible, and take what's possible to places we never dreamed of. A place where failure is just another step towards success, and where a closed door just leads to another opportunity, where bubbliness is the secret ingredient. Because here in Israel, we are changing the future today.
So, as the movie just said, because of the history of Israel and the reality of Israel, all Israelis are entrepreneurs. Collaboration is part of their modus vivendi. They always try to see any difficulty as a challenge. Every failure for them is actually a possibility to learn. Lack of facilities is always seen as an opportunity, and Israelis are always connected to all the world. So Mindcet was created within this, and our main target is to explore and develop groundbreaking learning solutions based in the emerging technologies. We've been here for 8 years, and we are very proud to say that today Mindcet is a world leader in bringing this entrepreneurial culture into a global education. Our team is a small team of 15 highly committed experts, but we have a turnover of another 60 entrepreneurs every year that join us to be able to fulfill our projects every year, and we partner with all the 6 continents. Our main domains is entrepreneurship, research and development. The focus is the learner, and we are very transparent. We share with everyone our new knowledge. We have an accelerator for Edtech startups. Actually, our latest cohort is going to pitch very soon. We have an international accelerator that helps startups connect to other industries. We lead the world's largest Edtech startup competition. Fernando is a partner. We have partners in Latin America. We have an accelerator specially designed for teachers. We develop a network of more than 500 teachers that are early adopters of new technologies. And we have an R&D that partners with the R&Ds of other industries, try to develop cutting-edge learning experiences. We also invite all of you. Every year, we have an event which is called the Israel Edtech Week, where we try to share the latest trends. We just opened in the middle of the desert an Edtech park to help educators to experience firsthand entrepreneurial culture. And as we said, we share, we publish all new knowledge. So welcome everyone. Get in contact with us. We're more than happy to receive you as partners of Mindcet. Gracias.
Bien, Cecilia, muito bem. So thank you so much. It's really an honor for me to be partnering with Mindcet for many, many years. I know, Avi, you showed here, so welcome. And now I'm going to introduce you to Carolina Lustosa from our other partner, which is the Inter-America Development Bank Lab, which is also promoting entrepreneurship and growth for Latin America. So Carolina, thank you for your support and welcome to this event.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fernando. Thank you so much, Cecilia. Thank you so much, everyone here today. Let me just check if you can see my screen. Let me know.
Coming.
It's coming. Can you see it?
Yes.
Great. So thank you, everyone. As Fernando said, my name is Carolina Lustosa. I'm part of the IDB Lab based here I'm based in Argentina. However, I'm Brazilian. So I'm going to take just a few moments to tell you what the IDB Lab is. I promise to be brief. So the IDB Lab is the innovation laboratory serving more than 650 million people. And why is that? It's because we are part of the Inter-American Development Bank Group, which is the leading source of financing and know-how focused on improving lives in Latin America and the Caribbean. So this group is made up of the IDB, which generates impact mainly through governments, as we know, the IDB Invest, which generates impact mainly through large companies, and us, IDB Lab. And what we do is we generate impact mainly through innovative entrepreneurs, such as the ones we are going to listen from today. So being a member of this group is really our greatest strength because of the influence we have in the region, and also because of our privileged impartial positioning between the public and the private sectors and the civil society. What is our purpose? So our purpose here at IDB Lab is to drive innovation for inclusion in the region. And what does this mean, right? So this means promoting inclusion of vulnerable population through market-driven solutions that are able to generate transformational impact. And how do we do it? We do it with a value proposition that includes three things: financing, knowledge, and connections. In financing, we have a portfolio of flexible instruments that offer reimbursable and non-reimbursable resources that cover investment, loans, and grants, and other types of financial instruments. In the case of investments, it is important to know that we make them mainly through investment funds. We have invested in over 90 VC funds in the region, which in turn have invested in over 500 startups. But exceptionally, we do make direct investments in startups that have great potential for impact and are aligned with our purpose of inclusion. In addition, we also have a great appetite for risk, which is really unique in the world of multilateral organizations, as well as a great capacity to mobilize funds from third parties. In the knowledge sector, so our journey has allowed us to develop an important know-how that is applicable to the region, to the Latin American and Caribbean region, in different topics, such as venture capital, education, future of work, skills of the 21st century, but also other topics like financial inclusion, climate smart agriculture, inclusive cities, among many others. We also organize open innovation challenges to leverage the global knowledge. And finally, in connections, we generate partnerships to connect actors in the region with other actors and with each other, and with innovation ecosystems around the world. We build communities of thematic experts and develop digital and physical platforms for the exchange of the ideas and of resources, just like the event we're participating today. So this is IDB Lab, really quick in a nutshell. So regarding the topic that brings us together today, technology in education, right? So I really think it's needless to say that the discussion of Edtech and the digitalization of education could not be more relevant than today and now. We have seen investments increase in this sector in the last 10 years, and investments accelerate maybe in the five last years. But the pandemic has really completely disrupted the way we think about education and has put technology at the center of the discussion. We know that in this context, for example, investments have increased, and according to a Holland IQ survey, EdTech space has received more than 4.5 billion investments sorry, in the first semester of this year, which is half of what they received during the last decade. So it's huge. So we clearly see an even greater need and urgency to innovate the way education is delivered, but also a great need that this transformation in education is done in an inclusive way. As IDB Lab, we have supported a variety of educational initiatives around the region with different financial instruments going from grants to social impact bonds. From the investment side, our participation so far has been mainly through investment in investment funds, as I said before. So we have seen very interesting innovations in EdTech in the last few months, and we are very, very interested to support this sector going forward. There are a few key interest points that interest us a lot in this EdTech space is being able to see how EdTechs interact with the public sector, but also with the private and corporates to scale their impact and reach more students and more people around the world. Also, for example, how do we bring EdTech innovation to the mainstream of formal education or to mainstream hybrid education? And finally, how can EdTechs help democratize the access to quality education? So we have the possibility of radically changing the mindset of how education is delivered. And innovative models brought by EdTechs, like the ones we are going to hear from today, are really, really fundamental to address this challenge. So I end up just finally invite you to be part of our network and get in touch with us. And thank you very much. I'm really excited to hear what the EdTechs are going to present us. Thank you.
Thank you, Caro. So we get started now with our pitches. So it's going to be a short pitch by each one of the startups in the cohort. So I ask Exempal to begin. Welcome.
Okay, I was talking to myself. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Anyone? Okay, so I will start. So, hi, my name is Oren Jackman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Exempal. We're a company moving from machine learning to machine teaching, which is what I'm going to explain. So we'll start with the kind of I would say, experience we all know when someone explains something to you and you just don't get it. We all know it, right? So imagine how it is like to prepare for admissions tests, such as GMAT, GRE, SATs, etc. The questions in these tests can have up to 10 different ways to solve them. And nobody asks you how you got the correct answer. You just have to be fast and correct. But how can you find this specific one? The thing is that most students around the world are bombarded with thousands of practice questions, tips, tricks, and shticks that are meant to help everybody the same way. I can tell you, as someone who's been teaching since I was 11, that's 35 years now, that when a novice teacher comes to me and asks me, say, how do you explain this question? My answer is, to whom? And this is what Exempal does in a nutshell. We ask to whom. So when a student uses our platform or studies our course, we start by studying the way you think. Then we study the effectiveness of all different possible solution strategies used by hundreds of thousands of students. And this way, Exempal finds the fastest way to solve each question, which is the fastest for you. The way it works, we start with interactive lessons. They're interactive in the sense that while users study the material, we study them. We study where you struggle, which solution you give us answers during the interactive video sessions. And then comes the secret sauce, the practice. The practice has 3 different phases. It starts with a diagnostic phase. For example, if you would look in this specific question, there are many ways to solve it, but they can all be divided into the PAL, which is the PAL in Exempal, either precise, alternative, or logical solutions. The logical would be just understanding the ratio between the numerator and the denominator. The precise would be simplifying the expression, and the alternative would be just trying out numbers. And in the diagnostic phase, we just diagnose which solution strategies are better for you. Then we go into the improvement phase, in which 2 things happen. We hone in on your level, and we start researching with you, and this is where the AI aspect starts working. We use your feedback of the tools you used for a correct answer or the reasons for your mistake in order to narrow down the strategies that are better for you. And then in the last optimization phase, not only we do create different practice paths for different students, we give different solution strategies with a different match to each student. This is a bit about the backend, the Bayesian data analysis, the recommendation system, and the open semi-supervised machine learning, all actually used in order for us to study you, and the other way around. The system keeps studying the students and improve itself a long time. I would say that artificial intelligence is sometimes described as machines going from machines that replace humans to machines that behave like humans. Well, we're in a mission to create machines that behave better than humans. And this is what we call machine teaching, because in order for a machine to teach, it has to have the knowledge, experience, and even the understanding of the thinking of hundreds of thousands of students. So this is why we utilize the performance and feedback of over 200,000 students from 180 countries that used our B2C products. We signed 2 amazing agreements with B2B global partners, one based in North America and one in Europe, both working globally to assist students in high schools as well. And we created a B2B engine that can be used by anyone. But our perspective is that our students teach us how to teach them. And this is a bit about the scientific proof, how fast you can actually improve using our system. We're the #1 awarded test prep around the world. You might know some of these companies or prizes. Excellent rating on Trustpilot. And I would say what's most important is the fact that we took test prep as a go-to-market strategy, but our market is over $350 billion annually. We started with admissions tests, but we actually overlap a lot of others. So I'm Oren Jackman with vast experience in our field. My partner, Ben Pear, who's our CTO. This is his 3rd startup. The previous one had a $450 million IPO. And our investors are some of the most prominent angel investors, not just in Israel. Marcus Hager, for example, one of the early investors in Uber, Reddit, Instacart, 8 different unicorns in his pocket. EduLab, which you might know, high grade, Northwest. Yeah, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oren. Good to see you again. And thank you so much. I'm always impressed by the capability of what machine learning can do in education, and the fact that we have learned so much about how the brain learns that we have not taken advantage of it. So very relevant for Latin America. Welcome and thank you for your time. We go on with Eton News.
Yeah, you can hear me? You can see my screen?
Go.
Yeah. Go? Okay. Just put it on full. Okay, guys. So my name is Yaniv Reinhardt, and I'm the CEO of Eton.news. Now, children love to express themselves. They love to share it. It's part of their kind DNA. They are doing it in social media among their friends and parents. But have a look at this message. This is what my child wrote to his friend. Can you understand it? Well, I really cannot understand it. And this is the way children express themselves today. It's a bit funny, but it's a real issue. We know that writing skills are important for the children's future. More than 74% of the employers are looking for candidates with good writing skills. On the other end, OECD in its report have focused on 4 silver bullets: critical thinking, creative thinking, empathy, and collaboration. So how do we improve those skills? Well, Eton.news, this is a solution. It's a full newspaper platform where children can write their stories and work on their writing skills. Each class can open its own newspaper project, and each student can practice his writing skills in a different page or block. The stories are aggregated as a newspaper and can be published or as a digital platform, digital newspaper, or as a news application. The platform actually mimics a journalism editorial desk and lets the students act as reporters or editors and collaborate in editorial teamwork activity. The platform includes AI tools to guide the writing process and AI assessment, helping the teachers to evaluate the work because we know it takes time. The platform itself can be used fully as a distance education solution. So our value proposition is based on the assumption that students express themselves all the time, but they do it poorly in writing. So we want to harness the student intrinsic motivation, and using the journalism process, we want to improve the writing skills. I don't know if you know, but Bloom's taxonomy elaborates 6 skills levels. In school today, they're focusing actually on the last 3. Remember the basic grammar, understand the structure, and analyze it through tests. We believe that using journalistic process, we are focusing on the higher education goals. Draw connection among ideas, write the article, and justify the stand. We think that everybody talk about learning differently, but we are actually doing it. We bring the solution that will change the way children are learning. We have a great team with all the skills that are needed to make this wonderful project. We came from the largest news publisher in Israel, Yediot Ahronot, and we know in depth how to create a full journalism process. When we look at the market, we know that the education market is changing, and because of the pandemic and more money is invested, of course, in education, it will license its products to schools, and our total addressable market is $6 billion. We are actively, we work already in Israel for almost around 2 years. We have 60 paying customers, actually around 150 customers. And we have pilots both in Spain and in Poland. We sell through education distributor directly to schools, municipalities, and districts. The use case of our solution are wide, and teachers are tend really to invest things all over. We're already selling and have revenues. And during our short journey till now, we have granted twice by the Israel Innovation Center. And we are part of SEC Labs, and of course, CET is distributing us. That's all. We are looking for investor education distributors or schools to pilot in Latin America.
Iton, thank you very much. It was a wonderful presentation. We are very happy to see where Iton is today in the Israeli market. Iton brings a very, very important skill. The digital world requires more than ever that the kids learn how to express themselves. It's basic, especially now that they have to there's no really physical connection. Everything has to be through the digital world. So Iton comes to meet this need, and they do in a very interesting way, because kids, at the same time that they learn journalistic skills, they learn how you can express yourself in a very efficient and interesting way. So I'm very happy to see the impact that you guys are having in the Israeli schools, and I hope to see you guys reaching the Latin market as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cecilia, may I just add that our user interface supports Portuguese and Spanish.
Que bom.
Already.
So, podemos utilizar en Latinoamérica, ya están listos para nosotros. Fantástico.
Muy bien, Boaz, muy bien. Okay, we go next to my nursery, and Caro, I'm gonna ask you to reflect after this one, please. My nursery.
Hi, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Hi everyone, my name is Daniel Silverton. I'm one of the founders of My Nursery, and we're building solutions for early years educators. With over 85% of cognitive development happening between the ages of 2 to 6, it's the critical period in a child's life that will determine their success both in school and moving into the future world. However, there are many problems in early years education which are leading to an unbalanced developmental goals for children. Primarily amongst these is the disconnect between framework and practice. This means that whilst early years teachers are told what to teach, they're not taught how or why to teach it in any meaningful manner. There's zero standardization of the teaching materials, and across the industry, there are low qualifications and lack of training. As I just said, this ends up with unbalanced education for the child. With over 180 million children worldwide in early years education, with over 13 million children alone in home-based daycare in the USA serviced by 1.5 million early years educators, this industry and area is direly in need of technological innovation. From our research, we have understood that over 90% of early years educators need to go online daily in order to search for activities that will engage and excite their children, which they can then use that day and to plan their teaching for the week or month ahead. They use platforms such as Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and YouTube, where they find unverified, unstandardized, differing levels of quality of content. On the other hand, they use educational platforms such as Teachers Pay Teachers and Twinkle, which although it may have good content, none of it is focused towards early years education and actually takes their needs into account of the early years educator. I actually grew up above a kindergarten. My family business is kindergartens, and my mother started Ready Steady Go nursery schools in the UK, in London, over 30 years ago. Over the years, I've seen the impact of high quality early years education and the trials, tribulations, and journey that it's taken us to get to that point. Our mission at My Nursery is to help early years educators in providing the best educational experience they can with professional, easy to use tools and content. Our solution relies on three main pillars. Firstly, verification, that our content is developmentally aligned and is the highest quality. Secondly, that it's flexible. Due to the needs of the early years child, the content must be adaptable as the child is continuously changing. And accessible, so that teachers can use it and children to understand children's individual development. This is our app as it stands. The first part of our app is the adaptive content library you can see here, with direct links to developmental milestones, which are linked to individual countries' early years curriculum. Activities and content is standardized for organization, categorization, and search, and allows the educator to create and share within our social network. Using this content, the educator is able to use our planning tools, focused again according to the National Early Years Curriculum, with localized adaptive content to create plans that are balanced and or focused on specific developmental areas that the educator decides on that week. Our third pillar is the child-focused development, easy to use even for non-trained educators, providing actionable data and individualized planning for children to meet their specific developmental goals and needs. Our team is balanced between education and tech. Myself and Ronnie, my co-founder, are both ex-kindergarten teachers ourselves. Jennifer heads up our educational direction, with Yakov and Michael assuming the roles of CTO and CFO respectively. Currently, we're in product development. Over 100 childminders currently using our product, with 400 on the way and 10 kindergartens starting in the new year. In 2021, we'll be launching our paid product worldwide with thousands of users and 25 kindergartens ready to go. Thank you for your time. We're very interested in partnership opportunities and expanding into the South American market. Please do get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. It's a real pleasure to hear your solution. It's the first time I'm hearing from it. So first of all, congratulations. I would really like to highlight the fact that, first of all, your focus on early education, of course, and the immense value to society that it brings. That sometimes we overlook that. So that's the first thing. And the other thing is really how your technology and your solution brings this idea of individualized learning experiences. So I think it's really important to be able to move as we move towards new learning systems, to really have this idea in mind that we can, with technology, be able to individualize and customize learning experiences to the child, right? So I think it's really valuable. Again, congratulations, and I hope to see you in Latin America as well soon.
Cool, thank you very much.
Thank you, Caro. We ask Inventao to join in now. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Just want to share my Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, hi everyone. Let's play a game. We are in the kingdom of ideas. Imagine you can invent anything at all and solve problems. I'm Meir from Inventor, an online game for learning how to systematically invent and solve problems. So back to the game. Intruders turned off the kingdom traffic lights. And your mission is to help prevent car accidents. Now, the user in the game is introduced with several methods to solve the problem. For example, selecting the multiply method lets the user duplicate elements in the scene or parts of element. And suppose the user multiplies the car front parts. After the duplication, a menu opens with several options where the user can choose materials. In this case, a shock-absorbing spring is selected. Then the selected item is embedded in the scene and optionally can move in tandem with the original object, the car. And that's an amazing invention because your invention may reduce road fatalities. Yet, another solution is to duplicate the hero, which doesn't seem to make much sense at first. But if made of fabric, then can slide on a track in parallel to the pedestrian crossing, then it could be used as a cannon fodder, possibly saving a real pedestrian's life. Question, does anyone see another multiply solution? If you do, please submit your idea in the chat. You can also tell us about it later in the discussion room. Hint, it's already in use in some places in the world, including Israel. Answer at the end of the presentation. We let users submit their solution as patents to our educational patent database and share them with others. These are not legal patents, but educational ones. Inventor provides formative assessment feedback to school teachers and school principals, letting them focus on students who need their help, thus supporting programs such as No Child Left Behind. Some of Inventor's added values are improving metacognitive skills and cognitive flexibility, strengthening mathematics skills like counting, comparing numbers, algebra operations, measurement, and geometry, and supporting adaptive learning and auto-assessment. The direct competitors are organizations teaching frontally invented methods. The indirect competitors are providers of STEM programs. Our UVP, Inventor goes beyond STEM and beyond reaching algorithmic solutions. The inventive methods improve metacognitive skills for problem solving and ideation. For example, an ordinary STEM approach will not lead to the invention we saw earlier. Our market is the after-school and school supplemental programs focusing on the K-6. We go to market with franchise partners, which we already know well, in the listed countries, with a rev share business model based on subscriptions. Estimated revenues in 3 years are $5 million. Following COVID-19, after-school programs are shifting from frontal to remote, providing new opportunities, fast scaling, and lower costs. All of us in the team have rich experience, both in education and in business. Together, we form a team with academic research capabilities, with professional R&D, and with strong sales and marketing. We need safe investment of $200,000 for completing our MVP. And an answer to the question I asked, this is a pedestrian crossing duplicated as a shadow, creating a three-dimensional illusion. Thank you for your time.
Cecilia, you're muted.
Hey, Ken. Hi, Mayor. You know how excited I am about Invental. I think you guys are really targeting a market that has not been targeted for challenging cognitive solutions. Usually, all the solutions like yours target middle school or even high school. And as you said now, it's extremely important to develop metacognitive skills at early age. Actually, that's where our brain is more flexible. So I'm really happy you guys decided to target that market. And more than that, you actually provide to the kids why math is so relevant in their lives, why physics is so relevant. They can be creative and at the same time learning high math. So I'm really happy for you, and I hope you also reach the Latin market to help the Latin Americans young kids also become as intelligent as you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cecilia.
Thank you, Meyer. Good to see you again, and happy that you are interested in our region. Next in line is I Know, please.
Hello all, can you see? Great. So thanks for joining. I'm Elad from I Know. Before I begin, I want each one of you to think of the moment when you put your own little child or your little nephew in a daycare and ask yourself, do you really know how your child is treated over there? Well, we at I Know want to solve one of the parents' main concerns today, which is daycare abuse in kindergarten. Unfortunately, we hear about this trend in different places and cultures globally, and sadly, this problem only increases over time. And actually, in reality, what we know about is only the tip of the iceberg. Why? Because there are a lot of undetected incidents we don't hear about, and the incidents that we do hear about are the results of a reactive process. So let's take a deep dive to find what's hidden under the sea. We can find two main problems in the current solution. First, despite having CCTV infrastructures, no one has time to monitor them constantly, and third-party services are too expensive to use. While automatic detection-based solutions, state-of-the-art AI-based, are not effective enough since there's not enough recorded label data of abuse. So let me share with you what I Know do and why this time is different. First, our system automatically detects abuse events and alert the daycare owner through our app. Then the daycare owner can review and focus on the incident that need our attention while marking the relevance of those alerts. Basically, we reveal the parts that today are currently hidden. We provide real-time and proactive insights and detecting all incidents in a daycare. The reason we are able to do it is because we use a different approach. We have a unique technology that can be trained basically based on only one real event that actually takes place, combined in a hybrid solution that allows human monitoring to have a larger coverage of incidents. The uniqueness of our technology is the success of modeling human, so we basically can detect accurately specific interactions between individuals. Moreover, our technology has the ability to extract from the videos insights that can be easier translated to charts. Using those charts, it is easier to find incidents that need our attention and to find correlation between different incidents. This is a demonstration of what our system can do. This is an event we normally don't want to see in a daycare, but our system achieved to see it. Let's freeze it. We don't want to see the escalation in this movie. Trust me, it's not recommended. Looking at the competition, we can see that our technology uses a different AI method that is more robust for learning. We only need one real data sample of views, and we are highly scalable since we are software-based as opposed to our competitors that use hardware in their solution. The market we are addressing is the smart kindergarten market in the US, estimated $1 billion, with obtainable market of 50 million, which is currently what we are addressing right now. Our business model is quite simple. We are a SaaS solution, B2B, B2G, based on $600 per kindergarten per month. Our go-to-market strategy is based on 4 phases. First, we are looking to partner with design partners to build up the base functionality. Next, join a channel partner to grow and penetrate, moving to other industries, and ending up partnering with camera manufacturers. Our technology is unique in a sense that it can be applied to other verticals as well. And we chose to start with the kindergarten space because it's blue ocean and it's a problem we need to solve. Our team has a vast experience in leading startups and overall of 35 years of experience in vision and incident detection. And together, we believe we can put an eye on things we don't know. Thank you very much for listening, and we're available on our channel for further questions.
Thank you so much. I think it's a quite unique perspective that you bring and certainly kind of develop the need. This is something that I'm sure all of Latin America faces in terms of the poor infrastructure, poor processes that young children face in their care centers. So I believe that using technology to support and be able to, protect our young children is very, very relevant. So I appreciate your interest in the region as well. Welcome. And now I open up for Virtual Italy. So Marco, thank you.
Hola a todos. Hola Fernando. Thank you. I share my screen. I hope you see it. Thank you. So probably you all know this masterpiece from Sandro Botticelli, Uffizi Gallery in Florence. And this museum, like all the other museums worldwide, is suffering for the diminishment of revenues coming from ticketing because of the COVID. And even if you were able to be in front of this painting now, you would not be able to appreciate all the details of this masterpiece. I'm Marco Capellini. I'm CEO and co-founder of Centrica, Virtual Italy. And with Art Centrica, we want to bring art to schools. Art Centrica is a cloud application that provides to teachers and students the opportunity to appreciate and understand art with unique features. Inside the platform, there are already Uffizi Galleries, a museum with works of art with up to 10 gigapixel images for each work of art, and a selection of masterpieces for another museum, Brera Museum in Milan. Our value proposition is based on art discovery, for example, the ability to focus on any detail of these masterpieces and to virtually measure what is the distance of the eye of Eleonora di Toledo from Bronzino, or starting from another painting from Bronzino, discovering all the jewels that are inside the collection, starting from the jewel that you are focusing in, and moving inside the image of the picture, you discover a goldfinch and you retrieve all the other goldfinch and you go to Madonna of the Goldfinch of Raphael. So these features, together with all the other features, provide to teachers and students the ability to create engaging lessons that can be deployed on whiteboards and on other interactive devices. Our go-to-market strategy is based on the creation of a network of ambassadors and partners that can bring Art-Centrica to universities and art schools. The business model is based on a recurring fee, a yearly recurring fee that is dimensioned related to the duration of the contract and the number of devices connected. And we are going to release soon a mobile app with freemium and in-app purchase model. We want to have a social impact both to museums, providing additional revenues through the royalties coming from Art-Centrica, and also introducing in the education market a completely new experience to appreciate art in and out of the classroom. So it is a win-win solution. There is a third winner, as we have brought this kind of solution worldwide from Italy, Milan, Lucca, to Germany, in Leipzig and Hamburg, and also in China, in Shenzhen. And we have seen that different cultures appreciate this way to be engaged and learn art in this new way. Management team is composed by myself and 2 other founders. Together we have 60 years of experience in culture and technology. Development team is interdisciplinary, from developers, art historians, and UX experts. Basically, we want to bring a new experience to teach, learn, and appreciate art, and we are seeking for partners and investors. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Marco. It's always amazing to see this solution. And I think there is something symbolic about your solution, because in a way it's a great model for many of the solution on our time. You are suggesting a learning experience which is not a replica of what we're doing in the real world, but it gives qualities that we can never have in real world exploration. And in a way, I think many of the solutions that should be developed in this time and this era should be from this kind, that really brings new values that we could not really gain in a different situation. So well done.
Thank you, Avi.
Thank you so much again, Marco. And as I told you when we met, Latin America has a great number of very interesting museums, and I see a great path for you in the region. So hopefully this is the beginning of a collaboration. Let me ask then Kunjani to jump in, please.
Thank you. Sharing my screen. Can I get a confirmation that you can see my screen?
Yep.
Raise your hands if you've ever fallen asleep in a classroom, lecture, or meeting. And how about in recent times, switching off from Zoom fatigue? This is frustrating for facilitators that don't have the required tools to capture their audience. Squeezing conventional learning into a webcam is ineffective. Forcing learners to sit through a boring Zoom lecture does not prepare them with the essential 21st century skills, namely collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking. Hi, my name is Hans Zitzmann, co-founder and CEO of Kunjani, and we're here to fix this. Meet Lenore, our Chief Learning Officer, with 40 years experience in teaching, training, and specifically the psychology and neuroscience of accelerated learning. She incorporated learning sciences research into a training board game. Kunjani was born. Through thousands of iterations, we proved the learning concept and crafted ourselves a scaffolding for new content development. The scaffolding we designed serves as the foundation for Kunjani's authoring tool. Learning and development officers use it to quickly and easily create, customize, and collaborate by plugging in their relevant knowledge and skills. The embedded pedagogy ensures that it is educationally rounded while addressing different learning preferences and cognitive levels. Alternatively, our public library is filled with pre-developed games that can be played or customized on demand. So to imagine Kunjani today, think Zoom meets Kahoot meets Miro. Kunjani brings virtual classrooms to life with serious play. So let's play. The class joins and are divided into teams playing for points. Somebody rolls the digital dice. The playing team reads their task and prepares their response in the allocated time. They then present their response to the group. The answer is revealed and the floor is then open for discussion. Points are allocated accordingly. So to summarize Kunjani's UVP, cutting-edge learning science is embedded in the authoring tools wireframe, which makes content development quick and easy. This is delivered in a socially gamified format, accelerating learning and maximizing engagement. The benefits of gamified learning are supported by pedagogical research, but unfortunately, it's normally costly and time-consuming to reproduce. So far, Kunjani has mainly been used in adult learning and development to onboard, upskill, and engage remote employees. Our corporate customers love to white label Kunjani. Kunjani's short-term roadmap includes designing a plugin so that it can inspire directly from other popular collaboration tools. We've recently secured an exciting strategic partner in the US, where we plan to expand from corporate South Africa into K-12 and corporate USA. Let's take a look at some US numbers. The average employee receives 40 annual training hours. By the way, 85% of these are unengaged. This costs large organizations $17 million annually. And in 2019, 40% of these hours were delivered in classroom. The COVID pandemic has therefore left a $33 billion hole, where virtual classrooms are the predominant filler. We're currently raising an investment and looking for new business opportunities in Latin America. So with your connections, we can put an end to death by PowerPoint and make live video learning sticky, fast, and fun. Please feel free to join me in the room afterwards for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hans. First of all, congratulations on the presentation. Really exciting. Zoom fatigue is a reality. I think everyone in this conversation can attest to this. From your product and your solution, again, I have to bring the customization experience as a highlight, and something I really appreciate that you're able to bring with technology to your solution. That's one thing. And the other thing is really having pedagogy embedded in virtual classrooms. I think this is music to any teacher that's now today here with us. It's really music to their ears now, because if it's difficult for companies to engage their adult employees through virtual conversations and Zoom sessions, I cannot imagine how teachers feel having to engage with kids with no tools at all, really. And this is the reality of Latin America and the Caribbean, with no tools at all to be able to transmit not only knowledge, but really to engage with kids through this virtual and hybrid model. And I think this is really, really relevant for Latin America and the Caribbean. It's going to be much more relevant because we are definitely going, well, through this pandemic, but beyond this pandemic, this hybrid model is here to stay, and this digitalization of education is here to stay. So really congratulations for tackling this so important issue and doing it with so much innovation. Congrats.
Thank you very much, Carolyn.
Thank you. We are entering the last stage, so the last three companies. And I also want to thank our partner, Diario Judío, who's helping us promote this in the region as well. So X10ND coming next, please.
Hey everyone, it's such a great pleasure being here with you. Thank you for inviting us. I am Imri Marcus, and we are Extend. We're here to bridge the gap between education and technology. So we all know this problem. There are over 10,000 startups in education worldwide. We just saw 7 great ones here. In Latin America, there are over 162 million students, yet somehow there is no real penetration. Edtech should be under disruption, but it's not yet. It is way, way too hard for a single startup to understand what's the right market and what's the right country for him to try and get into. And it's nearly impossible for education systems to understand what are the 10 best solutions for them out of over 10,000. And this is where we come in. Extend is a highly curated marketplace for EdTech globally. So we are here to serve both the education systems and the startups. For EdTech startups, we're getting them directly to paying customers in education systems worldwide. And for education systems, we are matching them with only the most relevant EdTech solutions for them. So how do we do it? We are doing it by putting extreme emphasis on 3 things: curation, research, and penetration strategy. This means that we are curating for the best EdTech solutions in every skill vertical, and only the best ones. We are putting tremendous efforts into market research and to understanding every and each different country and environment to which these solutions can get into. And we are putting a lot of effort into our penetration strategy, mostly and first of all understanding that every education system is completely different from one another. And each one needs different tactics, different leverage, and different pressure points, which we apply. And I would say that this is only the beginning. Our goal here is to give the full suite of EdTech as a service to both education systems and the startups. So this means we're doing a teacher onboarding for all of our startups. We are also doing a customer support and localization for different countries. We are also now developing a teacher-friendly platform with single sign-on abilities and with a unified dashboard for all of the EdTech startups. We're also developing advanced analytics and an AI engine to generate data insights for all of those startups. We know that we're the right team to do it. We feel we bring a very unique expertise in the EdTech world, in deep technology, and in building global networks of partners. So far, what we've done is we started working in Brazil. We're now starting to work in India, and we already established operations over there. And we can now offer EdTech solutions in most requested skill verticals and in most Latin languages as well. We are growing fast right now, and we are very, very much looking forward to expand in Latin America. We are now looking for distributors and local partners.
Estoy peleando con ingeniería. Se está riendo uno de mis amigos.
Yeah, we're looking for distributors and local partners, education bodies whom we can help, and startups from the territory which we can help by taking outside to other regions.
Thank you, Emery. Sounds really fascinating. And I think the sentence that caught my eyes more than any other that you used in your presentation is EdTech as a service. I think it's a very unique and refreshing approach. And in these times, especially when Edtech became to be much more prime time kind of solution. I think this might be a really an interesting way to make the markets much more effective. So good luck.
Thank you so much. Sybint is next. We have a couple more, and then we are probably looking at the space that we had planned for additional rooms. So maybe the best way would be to contact me directly if you want to follow up. We have a few distributors here from Colombia and Chile, a few investors, as well as schools and universities. So please contact me for follow-up so I can connect you with each one of these startups. So Sybint, please.
Thank you, Fernando, and thanks everyone for inviting us for this session. I'm Roy, I'm the founder and CEO of Sybint. We're a cyber education company. So let me give you the context. In the cybersecurity world, there are hundreds of billions of dollars of cost every year from cyber attacks. Actually, in the next 5 years, cyber attacks should cause about $5 trillion in damage, which is almost 3 times the GDP of Brazil. And what's interesting is that other than the fact that it sounds super technological, actually 95% of all of these security incidents are caused by the human factor, or the human factor is involved there. And there are 2 main problems that we are solving at Sybint. One is the talent shortage. There are millions of people that are missing in this market, which is a problem and also an opportunity for millions of people to get a new career and a new job, especially in this economic distress. And at the same time, most companies, and we're talking about Fortune 500 as well as smaller companies, report that most of their employees are underqualified in cybersecurity, while cybersecurity is needed from the general employee that needs awareness in security to the more advanced level of executives and security and IT team members that need actual hands-on skills in cybersecurity. So at Sybint, we've been training for the last few years, thousands of people around the world, first as a service. And then based on this service and based on our experience, we developed a platform, role-based learning that can take different individuals and companies and train people in the relevant path that they need to go through in cybersecurity based on interactive content, labs, and different environments that we develop at Sybint. Our platforms allow people to go from zero to hero, we call it, or from no knowledge to advanced knowledge, and also to learn the necessary knowledge, skills, abilities, and tools they need to perform and to be able to present it either to potential employers, if we're talking about individuals that reskill themselves, or in the corporate environment to the chief information security officer that can see their performance in the system. This solution is actually being distributed in the last 12 months around the world. We work in 2 main channels. One channel is that we partner with education institutions, either higher education, vocational training, and distributors, to actually provide this platform, and with this platform, reskill the workforce in so many countries. We actually built, based on this platform, our bootcamp. So we actually can take people from no knowledge to advanced knowledge using all the content and labs and simulations we have in the system. We already deployed this bootcamp around the US, Asia Pacific, some parts of Europe, and we are really interested in getting into Latin America. In this context, we're not only working on bootcamps and reskilling people, but also upskilling the industry, meaning working with corporations that want to train their employees on the same platform and providing a better protection to the organization by eliminating the risk from the human factor. In addition, we are working with CET on launching a new product soon based on the same platform or same concept. In this case, it's going to be the K-12 cyber learning platform. This platform is actually going to take individuals that are right now middle school and later high schools and provide them the necessary skills. So eventually to provide a lifelong learning in cybersecurity. As I mentioned before, as a company, we've been around for a few years, trained thousands of people in many countries, proved that our system is working. A lot of our team members are coming from military grade level of cyber expertise from the leading units in Israel and from around the world. We have team members in the United States, in Israel, in Europe, and in Singapore. and we're looking to expand to Latin America. I want to thank you for the time and look forward to collaborating with you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you again. And I know that we had some conversations looking for partners here in the region. I think it's a very relevant topic. We close with the last of the cohort, Plethora, please.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Efi Baruch. I'm co-founder and CEO at Plethora. And the story begins with a rabbit and a turtle. They have won across the river. It takes the rabbit 1 hour and 2 hours for the turtle. How long will it take them to get to the other side? They're crossing together, so the answer is 2 hours. But most children will answer 3. They know how to add and multiply, but there is no math operation they can apply to solve this problem. It requires a different kind of thinking, computational thinking. Computational thinking is a set of problem-solving methods that involve expressing problems and their solutions in ways that a computer could also execute. According to ISTE, computational thinking is at the foundation of many other subject areas and careers as well. There's been very little change, as you know, in classes over the past decades. Yet students made a huge leap into the 21st century, and we're here to try and narrow this gap. Our vision is to use computational thinking to teach and learn STEM curriculum with gamified content generated by the community and for the community. Plethora uses gamification to teach youth of all ages the foundations of computational thinking so they can use them in every aspect of their life. Teaching computational thinking is a challenge, and many platforms try to do it. They all use coding, and coding is great if you want to qualify programmers. Coding asks children to translate their thoughts to a language a computer understands. And today's job market shows that coding is biased to males. And let's not forget, coding is simply a small fragment of computational thinking. We do it differently. We teach children to solve complex problems. At Plethora, students plan algorithms in their own mother tongue language and solve challenges while learning computer science concepts. Most importantly, our true gender-neutral platform encourages creativity over technical syntax computers understand. Our platform introduces various computer science concepts with many levels for every concept. A studio where students and teachers create new gamified content they share with the community or their classes. Teaching lesson plans that were written by a team of computer science and education experts, and a dashboard that allows continuous monitoring of students' progress and achievement. Plethora was recently validated in an independent academic research that tested general problem-solving skills similar to the one with the rabbit and the turtle. This research proved that practicing our platform improves logical reasoning performance by 40% and competency levels by 12%. So far, close to 13 million challenges were played by over 200,000 students, and amongst them, we can proudly declare that our platform is truly gender neutral, which is uncommon in our industry, and that students and teachers find it exciting and engaging. Our B2B strategy is to partner with dominant local distributors offering a subscription model to educational organizations globally. We're working with schools and the Ministry of Education in Israel and have now begun to go global. During COVID-19 outbreak, we started supporting a B2C model as well. Founders include computer science PhD Dr. Rami Morelli, who brings decades of senior technology leadership and experience in the Israeli Air Force, Shimrit Penchak, who designed the game, and me, with years of experience in all aspects of managing an international publicly traded company. We now started looking for a seed round that should lead us to become a significant player in the computational thinking field, add another scientific domain, better understand and penetrate the consumer market, and be ready to raise our Series A round. We plan to fulfill our vision by building a global learning platform where teachers and students create, share, and play gamified challenges and content. We started by setting the computational thinking foundations and now move to build our community so we have a strong and sustainable base for scaling to all STEM disciplines. Thank you, and please join us to the private room later for a demo of the game and continue the discussion.
Thank you so much. We are reaching the end of the event. I just got a note from the Ministry of Peru that want to have a copy of the video to further analyze. So I appreciate the help from all of our partners, Mindcet, Avi, Cecilia, Paz, for putting this together. All of you in the startups and the IDB lab. Cecilia, do you want to do a closing statement, or Avi? Actually, one more thing. Diario Judío is also going to post the video in their portal that reaches many countries in the region. So thank you for that, Diario Judío. Isaac, thank you so much.
Thank you, Fernando. Just saying that we really very happy about the partnership. First of all, with you, Fernando, and also with IDB. I think the Latin American market is very close to us. I think both the cultures here in Israel, in the Middle East, and in the other side of the ocean in your area have a lot of similarities. And also, I think that the range of the population we are serving has also some similarities. I think we're meeting a very wide range of users, and we should find ways to answer all of them. And from Mindcet perspective, the Latin American market is one of the first markets we should explore and should find ways to collaborate with. And as you know, Fernando, when we started with the Global Startup Awards, I think the Latin American was the first area that was really big in the Global Startup Awards, and still is very dominant. So we are really looking forward to the next chapters of this family of collaborations, and hopefully we're going to see some outcomes in the future. Thank you very much all.
Just an announcement, we're going to continue with this series, and Avi, maybe you and your community would also be interested. We are setting up Africa and Latin America next week, and we're going to continue with different ecosystems. So I welcome you all. Caro, do you want to do a closing statement from the IDB Lab, please?
Fernando, I just wanted to thank everyone. It was really amazing to hear all the innovators and all the solutions today. I think that this crisis is redefining really the future of learning, and shifting priorities in this industry in the way that we could not have imagined just like 6 months ago. So we really have the possibility now today to radically change the mindset of how education is delivered and make it more inclusive. So, and the work that you guys are doing is amazing and has precisely to do with taking this possibility and this opportunity and taking it to the next level. So thank you for all the work. It was a pleasure to be here, and congratulations again.
Thank you all. We close now. Good to see you, and hope to see you soon, actively transforming Latin America with your technology. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.